Hey guys, Keith with San Antonio's Finest Realty. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in, I can only assume you have at least a mild interest in the content today, which is iBuyers. iBuyers, I did a little video a few months back, and I got a lot of responses on it. People that called and inboxed me and private messaged me regarding their interest and at least talking to these people and seeing what they offered. So that spurred me to do a little bit more research on my own and see what these people are all about, because they are legitimate companies. They are investment companies, but they're legitimate companies, and they do provide a service, and they do have some worth in a lot of instances. I just think that for the convenience that they are advertising and trying to sell, that could add up, and it can't add up, but it will add up to a lot of money that you're probably leaving on the table from going with one of these people instead of a professional realtor, somebody that you've interviewed, and you feel a common bond with, somebody that's going to fight for you and that's actually benefiting, his services benefit you instead of the other way around. Okay, so what we're going to talk about are iBuyers like Open Door and Perch and I believe Redfin. There's several of them. Okay, and what they hang their hats on is worry-free, no hassle closings. They will make you an offer sight unseen within 24 hours, and all these are true. They do come through with those. Okay, so they're not lying or doing anything underhanded or dastardly, But we have to call them for what they are. They are investors, and they are going to try to milk every dime of your equity out of it. That's how they make their money, okay? So what they do quite often, if not almost every time, is this. They advertise a fair market price, right? Okay, so what we're doing, or what they're going to do, is you can call them or you can get online and enter your email, enter your physical address, and they'll probably ask you some certain things about the house, beds and bath and square footage and whatnot. And they will research whatever they research, sight unseen, and they will get back to you with an offer, what they call a fair market price. Okay, well, any relatively intelligent person is going to say, how can you give me a fair market price sight unseen? It's just with some information that I send you. Nobody's come over, nobody's looked at it. I haven't sat down with anyone, So guess who determines that fair market price? Well, it's them. Okay, they are investment companies, and guess what's going to happen? You have very little, if any, negotiation power with these people. Okay, very, very rarely will you sit down with with one of them and discuss it. They're going to make you an offer that they know they can make a profit on, and they don't necessarily care what your profit is. They are not emotionally attached to your house or your property at all. They don't have children that they got to move in there, or they don't have to pack or anything. They're just going to flip it eventually. Okay, so they determine the fair market price. When they say hassle-free, I guess if you consider hassle-free giving up all your power and all your negotiation power as a seller, then yeah, I guess that is hassle-free, because you use their contracts, you use their market analysis, you use their inspectors, you use their appraisers, and you don't dictate anything. Okay, they make you an offer, no gun is put to your head to accept it, and you either accept it or you don't. So they're a legitimate company. They're not doing anything underhanded. They're just trying to milk your equity out of you. Okay, they will make you an offer within 24 hours. That's pretty legit. Again, I'm going to preface it with this is my research and my personal experience and speaking with agents that have agents and clients, or just people who have gone with one of these companies, and these are their stories, horror stories, for lack of a better term. Okay, they're really good at marketing. Like I said, I've gotten stuff in the mail. I've gotten, not phone calls, but I've gotten emails, stuff in the mail. I listen to sports talk radio. They're all over AM. They're on my Spotify. It's free, so I have ads, but I hear them on Spotify all the time. I see them on TV and email, social media, and they're really good at that. They're really good at technology and marketing. And again, they do serve a purpose. If you have a house, let's say it's been an investment house forever, or it's been in your family forever and your great grandmother lived in it, and it's a house that you just don't want to mess with. I don't want to put another light bulb in there or a nail in the house. I'm ready to sell it. I don't care if I take a bath on it or I'm leaving, 10, 15, 20,000 on the table. I just want to sell it and be done with it. They're good at that. Maybe these iBuyers are for you then, if that's the kind of property it is. But I think those are very few and far between. And even if it was a property like that and you had that kind of mindset where you were done with that property, there's a bunch of local investors that I'm sure could do a lot better, make a lot better an offer than what these guys will. Just find a local investor or call an agent, and that agent will find you a local investor that is reputable that can swoop in and kind of make you probably a better offer than these guys. But there's other options. When I called personally, when I called personally, a couple of them, it just takes forever for them to get back to me. At least 4 times I called, 4 different times. Very rarely would I get a call back. Matter of fact, I got called one time, called back to tell me that somebody would call me back. So it kind of, they're a big company. Customer service is not really their forte in my opinion. They do a good job. Okay, let's go into this. Let's say if it's a house that they already own, okay, that they've already bought from somebody, and it's an open door listing or an iBuyer listing. I did have a couple of clients buy those, and they were pretty good. When they already have the listing, they are pretty good about getting back to you. On one of them, their appraisal came in $3,000 low, and they adjusted the price down $3,000 to meet that appraisal. So it wasn't a big deal. So in their defense, they did have a decent listing, and it wasn't too much BS when their appraisal came in low. Okay, so they did adjust it. But let me tell you, here's kind of what's going to happen. And when I talk to these people who have already used them and just doing my own research, here's what's going to happen more times than not. And this is kind of their MO here, okay? What's going to happen is if you decide to take their offer, that is all well and good. They're going to make you an offer for, I don't know, let's say $120,000. Okay? Again, you are using their market analysis. You're using their contracts. They're using their inspector. They're going to send a guy into that property and see just kind of what needs to be fixed so they can flip it. And they're going to maybe have a plumber come in and a roofer and any contractor or subcontractor that they feel necessary to come in. Well, you can bet that those bids are probably going to be pretty high. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we're going to make you an offer of $120,000 because we're going to have to put another $30,000 or $40,000 in there in upgrades and refurbishments and fixing things and whatnot. You can probably do those things on your own for a fraction of that price, if you had the inclination to do so. Alrighty. Again, very few, if any, negotiation power with these people. Oh, what they do offer is they say, well, you can close, you can pick your own closing date, which is probably true to a certain extent. I don't think you can sell them the house and then say, well, I can't close for 6 months. They'll probably give you a couple of months to get ready, and in the meantime, they will prep the house and do what they have to do. So I wouldn't say they would give you any more than about 2 months as a delayed closing. I don't think they're going to let you live for free or anything like that, over the next 6 months. Okay, you are in bed with them. You have sold them the house, let's say for $120,000, and you have a closing date of 45 days out, okay? After a while, during the process, they're going to have an appraisal, like anybody else will. They're going to have an appraisal. Out of the 8 people that I spoke with that have dealt with them and had them make an offer, and they went under contract with one of these iBuyers, out of 8 of them, 7 of them, their appraisal came in low. Okay, so what does the iBuyer do? They say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know we have a contract for $120,000, but the appraisal came in at $117,000. We're going to have to adjust that final sales price down to $117,000, or we just can't go through it. So there's just a little bit more of your equity that they're trying to take from you. And this is a huge investment for you. $3,000 is nothing to sneeze at. So it just rubs me the wrong way in the way that they do kind of, try to take advantage of it. By this time, you are well into the process with them, and it's really late in the game, and it's hard to change your quarterback when you're that late in the game. By that time, most people just say, well, hell, I'm already this far. We're closing in another week or 2 weeks. Let's just go ahead and close. Take another $3,000 of my equity. And it's unfortunate. Let's see. They advertise something to the effect of no realtor fees. We don't charge for this. We don't charge for that. Be very careful. Read the fine print. Call these people. Do your own research. Don't just look at the frequently asked questions on the websites. Give them a call and speak to somebody. If you can get in touch with them, speak to somebody. It's all a matter of semantics, okay? They may not charge a traditional realtor fee, but they do charge things like service charges and buyer brokerage charges, holding costs, market assessments, things like that. What it comes out to really is about 4.5% to 5% more than what a traditional realtor commission would be. They say they'll keep it right around, some of them say that they don't charge a realtor fee. Others will say, I will split realtor fees with you, so it'll come out just to a couple of percentages. What happens is it comes out to closer to 9 to 12% when it's all said and done, as opposed to just a standard realtor commission of whatever we charge, 5%, 6%. Whereas theirs, when it's all said and done, when you get those final closing paperwork, that final closing docs, you see these numbers, and how the heck did we come up with 9.5%, 10.5%, 12% fees? You said you didn't charge this or that. No, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we don't. But we charge service charges, we charge buyer brokerage charges, we charge holding costs, and we charge market assessments and any other gobbledygook they want to throw at you. So basically, what this video is just a kind of reaching out again, because of the last one got a lot of calls on it. And it just kind of rubs me the wrong way when these kind of companies come in and try to lowball you, because that's what they're doing. They're just trying to lowball you and just milk as much equity out of that property as they possibly can. I mean, they got to keep the lights burning and whatnot. Nobody's holding a gun to your head to sign with these people. But if you have any more questions, I just kind of wanted to come from contribution today. And if you have any more questions about this type of thing, or if you've been contacted by them, or you want to interview them or whatnot, by all means, give me a call. It's never any cost or obligation like that. If you wanted me to come out and just kind of compare my numbers to theirs, then give me a call. Not a huge deal. I just really felt compelled to make this little video because I got so many hits on the last one that I did. And I really wish you the best, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and give me a call if I can do anything for you. Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.